Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi guys, how are you today? I'm Sandra Mutia Sari. I'm from class A from the second semester of English Education Department STKIP Muhammadiyah of Bogor. Now, I would like to present that three stories that I have read. I made this presentation to complete the final exam assignment of extensive reading course. Okay, before I begin my presentation, I will reread the three stories that I have read. Even though the time duration is different from the first time I read this. Because for the first time I'm reading these three stories, I had to understand the whole contents of this story. So now that I understand the contents of this story, the duration will be shorter than I first read these stories. Okay, here I will show you guys the three stories that I have read. The first is Baby Camel and Mother. Second is The Bear and the Two Friends, and the last is The Little Mouse. Before I start my presentation, I would like to reread these three stories that I have to read. Okay, the first is Baby Camel and Mother. A mother and a baby camel were lying around, and suddenly the baby camel asked, "Mother, may I ask you some questions?" Mother said, "Sure. Why, son? Is there something bothering you?" Baby said, "Why do camels have humps?" Mother said, "Well, son, we are desert animals. We need the humps to store water, and we are known to survive without water." Baby said, "Okay, then why are our legs long and our feet rounded?" Mother said, "Son, obviously they are meant for walking in the desert. You know, with these legs I can move around the desert better than anyone does." Baby said, "Okay, Mom, then why are our eyelashes long?" "Sometimes it bothers my sight." Mother with pride said, "My son, those long thick eyelashes are your protective cover. They help to protect your eyes from the desert sand and wind." Baby, after thinking, said, "I see. So the hump is to store water when we are in the desert. The legs are for walking through the desert, and these eyelashes protect my eyes from the desert. That what in God's name are we doing here in the zoo?" Okay, the second story is The Bear and the Two Friends. Once two friends were walking through the forest. They knew that anything dangerous can happen to them at any time in the forest. So they promised each other that they would remain united in any case of danger. Suddenly, they saw a large bear approaching them. One of the friends at once climbed a nearby tree, but the other one didn't know how to climb. So, being led by his common sense, he lay down on the ground breathless, pretending to be a dead man. The bear came near the man lying on the ground. It smelled in his ears and slowly left the place, because the bears do not touch the dead creatures. Now the friend on the tree came down and asked his friend on the ground, "Friend, what did the bear tell you into your ears?" The other friend replied, "The bear advised me not to believe a false friend." And the last story is The Little Mouse. Once upon a time, there was a baby mouse and mother mouse. They lived in a hole in the skirting board in a big, warm house with lots of cheese to eat, where they want for nothing. Then one day, Mother Mouse decided to take Baby Mouse outside of their home. Waiting outside from this was a huge ginger tomcat, licking its lips and waiting to eat them both up. "Mother, mother, what should we do?" cried Baby Mouse, clinging to his mother's tail. Mother Mouse paused, staring up into the beady eyes of the hungry cat. But she wasn't scared, because she knew exactly how to deal with big, scary cats. She opened her mouth and took in a deep breath. Woof woof, bark bark, she shouted, and the cat ran away as fast as she could. Wow, mother, that was amazing, Baby Mouse said to his mother, smiling happily. And that, my child, is why it is always best to have a second language. Okay, guys, now I would like to start my presentation. The first story is Baby Camel and Mother. The genre is narrative story or fable story. Reading process, I read this story with a duration of 3 minutes, and the story has 3 paragraphs. And the story is also very easy to understand. For difficulties, I think I'm not found the difficulties from this story. Moral of the story is skills, knowledge, abilities, and experiences are only useful if you are at the right place. The story in real life, when we are in a field of work but the work isn't according to our abilities, then we will not be able to do it well. Inversely, proportional to when we find a job that suits our abilities, it will go well. The reason why I choose this story because this is a simple story and I can understand this story with easy. Okay, next the second story is The Bear and Two Friends. Genre same with the first story, that is narrative story. Reading process, I read this story also with a duration of 3 minutes, and the story has 4 paragraphs. I think this story should be clarified even more in terms of the dialogue in the story. Same with the first story, I can't found or I don't found the difficult in the story. Moral of the story, true friend is the one who always supports and stands by you in any situations. The story in real life, the story is related to when we are friends, but our friends turn out to be only fake or not sincere friends with us, like a fake friends maybe? Yes, like that. The reason why I choose this story is very interesting to read and easy to understand. Okay, guys, the last is The Little Mouse. Genre of this story is narrative story, like, like with the two story before. Reading process, I read this story with a duration of 5 minutes. This story has 6 paragraphs. At first, I thought the story was very confusing because it showed an ambiguous impression for me. That's the difficulty of the story. Moral of the story, it's always good to have a second language. Like the story in real life, this story is related to our daily lives. When we go abroad and we do not know what citizens we visit speak what and sometimes mean to us, if we can speak several languages, then we won't have any difficulties like that. So the reason why I chose this story is enough to teach me a lesson. It's like we have to, how to say, we have to study hard, especially in language, so we can go anywhere. We can take journey anywhere, uh, even though we have or we can many language like that. So this is the end of my presentation today. Thanks for watching and thanks for your attention, guys. See you and bye bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.